Great. Meanwhile, people, just in case if you feel like that I missed recording, then please unmute yourself and let me know that I missed the recording. So start recording. Sometimes in a flow, I might miss it. I might not remember to record. All right, that would be an additional help from your end. What you can do to be. So yeah, start with understanding basic Boolean operator and or not double quotes as well brackets on LinkedIn and Google and how they work and what are their use cases. So as I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of people here who are freshers, who are experienced. So whoever is experienced, there might be something new in this that you're going to see. Even for experienced and for freshers, I would always say the pattern always remains same, where you just go, unmute yourself, just in case if you have any doubts, just unmute yourself and please ask. There is no set rule that we have a Q&A session in the last and then you start asking a question. Rather, we'll have the way we go as soon as you get a doubt. There is no rule that you raise a hand and then stay in line for me to ask you. No, nothing like that. No rules. Please, as soon as you have a doubt, as soon as you have a question, please feel free to ask a question. Yeah,
Okay, sir.
great.
Okay, sir.
Mm, all right. So now to start with understanding basic Boolean operator. Let's go to LinkedIn. So what does AND operator do?
And which adds all the skills. For example, if I'll take as a Java developer,
Hmm,
so Java, Spring, microservices. So like
mhm.
I'm just adding the whatever the like specifically technically skills I need for the Java developers.
Okay. So my question is, what does an operator AND do?
Join shift,
Hmm,
It
join
basically
both.
adds on, yeah, it basically adds on the skill sets that we are looking for. It's basically becomes a mandate, not like or kind of a scenario like that happens. It's not an option, it's a mandate skill set that we're looking for.
great. Okay. It basically gets us a list of search result with all the keywords and helps us in narrowing the searches. For example, Java and SQL. So in this example, we would see a list of keywords, list of search results, which has both the keywords. So we just give Java and SQL like this. And then we just click on people or maybe anything, but which are the search result you see? You would see there's a Java which is existing as well. Once we open the search result, there's a SQL also which will be existing. So that means it's allowing us to search for a list of results which has two or more keywords in combination altogether. So let's say here we have Java, and then once I open a profile, I might see a SQL. So here if you see Java and SQL both are reflecting, then here Java. Once I open this profile, then definitely there might be a SQL also reflecting. Let's go to some of the last pages. Let's say 100th page. So we have gone for last page of the last result. Generally, what happens when we source on Naukri or such kind of a portal, what happens is sometimes when we give a list of keywords and as soon as we start going to the second, third, fourth page, the list of keywords keeps dropping. But wherein a LinkedIn search algo is really strong. I never seen, means earlier I used to see, but nowadays like it has become really strong. where there is no dropping of keyword. Even our last page, even the last result of our last page has both the keywords, like 100 yak page and the last result. We just open this. Okay, now we just come here, Java and SQL. So here we have a Java. So here we have a SQL. Okay, so both the keywords. So I'll not take much time on this in the interest of time, but any which ways, any doubts, especially from freshers or especially who are not belong to sourcing and recruitment background, any doubts, what does and doing over here? I would love to dive deep just in case if you have any doubt. And don't really think that this is a stupid or this is a silly or this is a very small question and I understood it correctly or I should not be asking in such large team of people. No, absolutely no. We were all started from zero. So we know what kind of understanding it has to be because these are the basics. Unless the basics are not correct, we won't be able to scale to the advanced level. So please, as I mentioned, ask 100 times same question. I wouldn't be, um, means I would be really happy. Same question 100 times in 100 different ways. So yeah, I'll just take a pause. Any doubts in what does and is doing over here? We're good?
No doubt, Shivkumar. No, we are good.
Right, especially freshers, I'm asking. Definitely, I understand experience. We have a nag of it, but someone who is completely from a zero recruitment background, zero sourcing background, especially for them. So what and is doing is basically it's giving us a list of search results which has both the keywords Java and SQL for an example. Okay. Similarly, going to the next. Okay. So what does an operator and do? It basically gets us a list of search results with all the keywords and helps us in narrowing the searches. When I say narrow, why I'm using a narrow search result because it is giving us a list of results which has both the keywords like Java and SQL and let's say some unusual keyword we'll take which is not related to Java and SQL, but something which is completely unusual, which is not related to technical term. Let's take dancing. Okay, 10,000 results, Java, SQL. Once we open the profile, there might be somewhere dancing. So let's go to last page again. And then last result of a last page. Just to understand whether this is really working. Okay, Bachelor of Commerce. So dance, some synonym. That's a LinkedIn algorithm. Then Java, and then SQL. So nowadays, like LinkedIn also become a little smart. That it started also giving some of the synonyms or similar keyword. Just in case we don't want that synonyms or similar keywords, we want dancing as it is. We don't want dance. We just want dancing as it is. Then that's where for a single keyword also we'll use a double quotes. But I'll come to that point later. I'll come to that use case later. But for now, just keep in mind that LinkedIn is also trying to show us some of the list of search result, which has either a similar keywords or similar pronunciation, something like dance, dancing, dancer. Or else, so maybe in the skills, this person would have mentioned dance, but maybe they have some post or anything, any content on their profile or on their whole LinkedIn stuff related to dance or dancing. So that could be one other reason that this is coming. But otherwise, if we see dance, SQL, and Java, all the three words are existing over here. So further, if we want to narrow, let's say dancing. So any which is dancing or singing are in sync together. So dancing and I would say sleeping. So only 19 results. Why? Because it has narrowed Java and SQL and dancing and sleeping. So it has narrowed. So on whole of the globe, with the 7 billion of LinkedIn profiles on a whole globe, we have only 19 profiles who would have mentioned Java and SQL and dancing and sleeping. Good that not everyone is from India. Great. So let's go to last result again. Okay, this is must be there here and there for sure. But let's directly go to skills. Tick, tick, tick. So this is in some European language, but let's do some control F stuff. Or else, easiest way, let's see if it is there on the profile. So Java, that is here. SQL. SQL is missing on profile, but it must be existing in the whole profile of a LinkedIn. So here when we download, we get a limited information, what they have mentioned in the experience and all. But when we actually go to profile, there are a lot of other fields also, which are not a part of this particular download. So we just saw Java and let's see dance and sleeping. Okay. So this is missing, but let's see. We'll have to go on actual profile only in that case. Like when I say activities or some of the featured articles about and all will get downloaded. So education, do we have the complete education details over here? Summary, experience. Or let's say mm, mm, mm. So skills, we'll see sales skills first. So retail.
Shiv Kumar, just a quick question.
Mhm.
So like the keywords that we're talking about, does it work this well when it is only on premium, or does it also work for LinkedIn accounts for recruiters who don't have premium? Because like a lot of startups, they don't provide LinkedIn premium recruiter, right? So just
Mm.
wanted to know, like, does it work for the non-premium accounts also?
Absolutely. I'm running a search on non-premium account itself. Any free version also. So
Thank you.
this is something in interpersonal skills. Okay, motivational speaker, dispute, operational excellence, industry knowledge. Business, retail, credit. We'll quickly move on because again, most of the information on this is basically in European, one of the European languages, but we'll just try to see some of the English language profiles. We'll not waste much time on this, but as I mentioned, definitely, these keywords has to be there. Otherwise, these results won't come. 50 skills. So again, a lot of articles in this. It could be existing over there as well, but we're just trying to see on the page. And so School of Troubleshooter to Hollywood. Somewhere this must be existing over here, if I'm not wrong. But that is not in this language.
Uh, Question here.
Mhm.
This combination of skill where like you are trying to figure out, it's just a
Mhm.
random keywords that you have taken just to show us, right, whether it's actually working or not. Because
Absolutely.
see,
One is
yeah.
that, and the other part is that these are the keywords, two which are visual, which are basically closely connected, Java and what we say, SQL. And then other two words, dancing and sleeping, which are not really connected together. But how exactly we are getting these profiles?
But are you sure, like in the past previous pages, like do we really have any such profile? Because right now you're just searching on the last one.
Last, right. So last one we are searching, but I'm sure that we should get it. And that too, again, we are searching on a second page.
Yeah, that's fine. But I was just wondering, like the search which we have got with this keyword, do we even have a single profile with dancing as well? I mean, dancing and sleeping as well.
We should.
Okay.
Okay. Otherwise, there's fair possibility of false positive results sometimes because of completely and unusual keywords. Because again, as a part of the search, it will also show us a list of results from their activities also. So it's not that just it is showing from their profile. These
Right,
keywords
right. Now I
could be
get it.
existing in these activities also.
Right. I mean, the posts that people like or repost on their profile,
Exactly.
sometimes they pick up the keywords from those particular things also. The
Exactly.
articles that they like, because the last profile which we were searching for, that person did had something related to Hollywood. So I'm sure that he would have liked a post or shared a post, something like that, via which they
Absolutely.
might be
Yeah.
picking up something like that.
Yeah. So here we have Java. So here we have sleeping. Here we have dancing. So SQL is just missing.
Shiva, even I have experienced the same issue when we try the keywords, that is the and then or the brackets, right, in LinkedIn. In few times, it's not picking up the right search. I'm really not sure whether you have any discrimination
It
between the
rarely
three
happens. See,
or.
now that's kind of a search what we have given, which is completely uh, usual plus unusual keywords, where Java, SQL, and then dancing and sleeping. Now, in this profile, if you see, all four keywords are existing. SQL is existing here, Java is existing here. Then we also seen dancing and sleeping, which is existing. So here sleeping, which is existing, and we just seen dancing also somewhere. Okay, so sometime what happens, LinkedIn will try its level best to show us some of the profiles most relevant, which are matching to our key criteria. So here is a dancing, here is a sleeping. And then in skills, if we go, we have seen SQL and Java both. And these are the results from the last pages. So as one of our team member mentioned that sometimes like, okay, that person has mentioned something related to Hollywood and he would have liked something related to dancing or something related to sleeping. So it also gets us a list of results from there, this thing, what we say, activities also. And that's the beauty of a free version of a LinkedIn. Generally, what happens in a paid version of a LinkedIn, it only searches a list of keywords. Let's say if I just download, okay. So this is only searching. So what from where LinkedIn Recruiter search, LinkedIn Recruiter only searches from these part of a search content, from these part of a content, from their contact, from their top skills, from their languages, from their honors and awards, and then from their whole experience kind of a stuff, whatever they have written over here. But in actual LinkedIn page, if you go, there is way lot more other than this on a free version of a LinkedIn. Generally, LinkedIn Recruiter is not really searching over there, but LinkedIn free version of a LinkedIn is something is searching over there as well. But if you see in this profile, there's way lot of information other than just what the content we have captured or we have downloaded in the PDF form. But yeah, if you see here, all the four keywords are existing. You had any question that you were telling that you were trying to do something in the past, but it didn't work? Sorry, I missed your name.
I guess that was Prasanna.
Prasanna. Yeah, Prasanna, you were trying to tell something.
No, I'm sorry. That was, I guess, interference. I didn't say anything. Sorry.
No, no, that's completely fine. That's where, like, if you have a doubt, just unmute yourself and ask. So maybe, as I mentioned earlier, last year, last 1, 2 years back, um, when we were giving such lengthy booleans and when we were going after 10, 20, 30th pages, I did seen that behavior of the number of keywords dropping. Like if I give a boolean with around 20 keywords, but once I go to the 20, 30th page, I see that all those 20 keywords are not really existing, only 18 existing, only 16 existing, only 15 existing, neither the synonyms. Okay, but wherein now LinkedIn has modified their algorithm and trying to come up with, even we seen the last result of the last page also, though we did not found because most of the information was not just in English but also the other European language. But otherwise, other than that, whatever the English profiles we are opening, we're able to see that all the four keywords are existing. So let's view a few more.
Shiv, I
So
have a
bas-
question here.
yes,
Bona
please.
here. I just wanted to add some top universities, which has top NIRF ranking of top 100. Can we add that here?
So that we'll keep it in our future session. Today, what we're covering is like just the basics of and or not. So our
Okay.
sessions are pretty elaborative. If you have to see, tick, 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 tick. So sourcing. Okay. Diversity search on free version of LinkedIn, scraping the data. There's
Okay.
one more other session, dive deep on direct and indirect search on LinkedIn, dive deep on basiclinkedin.com and explore some unintentional feature. So we'll scale there, but
Okay.
yes, as we go, we'll go step by step, not really jumping
Again,
beyond.
yeah,
Otherwise, it might really confuse.
yeah, I was just worried because again the or and what we are using will exceed 32 words, right? So I was just curious to know.
We'll scale there slowly. For the
Okay,
content of
okay.
today, we are just covering on and or not. Let's see the use cases of it. Let's dive deep on and or not, double quotes and the brackets. Then after that, we'll go step by step.
Okay,
Okay.
sure. Thank you.
Here we see dance. Then here we see Java. And then dancing, sleeping. So SQL is missing. That could be in the skills. Java here, dancing, sleeping, we got it. SQL here. So yeah, we have all the search results. So, sorry, keywords. Java, JavaScript, SQL. So dance. And now sleeping is missing. Where are you hiding, sleeping buddy? Mm, so many honors are advanced, dancing, Java SQL. Let me add sleep also here. He got the award in sleeping as well.
That would be hilarious.
Okay, has he done any project? Or maybe he liked some article related to sleep, which is the best medicine for health. That could be one reason. Scores on sleeping? Don't tell me.
Under
Okay.
endorsement could be best sleeper ever.
No, you never know.
Shiv, I have a quick question. In
Yes,
the
please.
LinkedIn, using the and or not operators, is it possible that we could say look at profiles that are only say based in India? Now we are looking at international profiles, is what it's giving us. Just
Everything
wanted
is
to check,
possible.
is it possible for using these operators as well, just and or not?
Everything is possible. Let's go step by step.
Thanks, Shiv.
Yeah. So sleep is just missing, but I'm sure it if we scan the complete profile, it will be somewhere here or there. Maybe from the activities somewhere. But that's fine. We'll just move in the interest of time. But we are seeing definitely a profiles which are actually showing us all the 4 keywords: Java, SQL, sleeping, and dancing. So that's where basically what AND is doing is basically narrowing the search results by giving a list of all the keywords which are in combination of AND. So here sleeping, we got it. So dancing, Java, SQL definitely must be here and there. No doubt about it. But yeah, so I'll just take a pause, especially for freshers. Any doubts, any questions on what does AND do here? We're good?
Shiva, I have a question. Is there any like maximum limitation for using any of the operators? Like it's a general query, not specific to AND. Like any maximum limit that beyond this limit, we cannot put on the words in the search field.
Got it. So to start with, let's keep our minds with the rule of LinkedIn, that which allows us to source for a candidate maximum with a 5 operator and a 6 keywords. But again, this is something which we are going to cover when we are going to dive deep on a LinkedIn free version of a LinkedIn. But just to answer it quickly, yes, LinkedIn allows us maximum of 5 operator and 6 keywords as per the rule of LinkedIn. But there's a way to overcome it, which we'll cover in our future session. So for now, let's focus only on what does AND do or not. Okay. So yeah,
Sure, sure.
any doubts on AND? We're good, especially freshers, as I mentioned. Great. So
Shiv, Rajesh here, just a small clarification.
mhm,
And or else it would be an operator for us, right? And rest key skill would be a Java skill and all, correct?
those are the keywords. Great question.
Yeah.
And good to cover this part. Okay, what are the operators and what are the keywords? Great. Here, I think keyword we covered last time. Operators and keyword. Okay, we did cover, but I think we did not take up in the notes. But yes, we did cover the operators. What are the operators and what are the keyword? But otherwise, let me recapture those. Okay, what is keyword search? We are searching with a specific keyword or thing. Okay.
തണ്ണി കുടിച്ചു അവിടെ തന്നെ എത്ര തണ്ണി കുടിച്ചു തണ്ണി കൊണ്ടുവരും ഇങ്ങോട്ട് അമ്മ വീണിട്ട് അമ്മ പഞ്ചസാര കയറ്റി കൊടുത്തായിരുന്നില്ലേ
Defined by the search engines to perform the search. Basically, logical commands, I would say, not operator, command. So this double quote in doc, it won't come in a proper format. Right. So that's about and. Similarly, what does the operator or do? Anyone here wants to take a chance? What does the operator or do?
Fetches, she which fetches any of the results from the given string, any of the
Any
keywords.
one of the keywords, exactly.
It kind of helps us widen the search also, I guess.
Widen the search. One is and is narrowing the search, and or is expanding the search. So it basically helps us.
In fact, giving more options, in fact.
With an option of getting a keyword. Options. It basically helps us in expanding the search result with an option of getting a list of search result with options. For example, Java or Python and okay, Java or Python. Okay, now similarly, instead of using Java and SQL or like that, we'll use Java or Python.
Can we like include one of the frameworks also, say like Django or Flask, like
That will
IT
include.
frameworks? Yeah.
We'll go. As we go to the advanced part, we'll go over there also. But as I mentioned, to start with basic step by step, let's stick to the content, what we're going to cover, like and or.
All right, cool.
Yeah, we'll go.
Thanks, yeah.
We'll go slowly there. Don't worry. Okay, so now here, let's say we use first Java and Python, or else let's take in the previous result only. And so dancing and sleeping. In this result only, we had 19 results. So now we want to expand the search result. So instead of dancing and sleeping, what we'll do, just dancing or sleeping. So instead of this 19, it will go beyond that. So it has become 12,000. So wow. So people who has both the skills of dancing, SQL, dancing and sleeping and SQL and Java, we had seen only 19 people. But when we have gone with Java and SQL and dancing or sleeping, that's where we have seen the results has dramatically increased to 12,000. So why it is happening so? Now, because this is searching for a search results, which has both the keywords Java and SQL, and it is also searching for either of the keyword from this particular group, dancing or sleeping. So basically, whenever we use or, we need to make sure that we are nesting it. When we say nesting it, we are using those particular brackets so that it understands it correctly. Okay, this human is actually trying to search with Java and SQL and dancing or sleeping. What happens if you remove this bracket? I'll come later there. But yeah, I'll just take a pause. Any doubts on what does OR is doing over here? So here what OR is doing, OR is basically helping us to expand our search result and giving us an option to search for the rest of search result with the options like option A or option B. Here dancing is option A, sleeping is option B, in that way. So let's say other than Java and SQL, we just say only dancing and sleeping, dancing or sleeping. So we'll have more results. From 12,000, it has gone to 7,06,000 results because these are the people who would have mentioned at least dancing or sleeping in their LinkedIn profile. And that's where we're getting these particular profiles. So let's say we again go to the last page and we see. So here itself dancing is there. Okay, here itself sleeping is there.
Shiva, I have a question here. Instead of dancing or sleeping, will you be able to, or is there any privilege to enter a comma after sleeping? I mean, or before sleeping, would that be considered as or?
I didn't get you.
So instead of dancing or sleeping, instead of or, if I enter or put a comma, all right, will that comma can be considered here as an or should I still enter the or?
As a rule, whenever we want either of the keyword, dancing or sleeping, as a rule, we should be using or. Now, just in case, if I remove or and put a comma, what happens? Just try to think in this way. What is going to happen? So this is still going to search for dancing or sleeping or dancing and sleeping.
Okay.
But this is actually, it will actually, the algo will get confused. So in this in this shorter example is fine. The comma is working. But when you go to some of the advanced examples, when you go to some of the advanced strings, you would see that the search was not really working. So if I say here, 7,06,000 results we got with dancing or sleeping, and we removed or, and we just give comma. There might be beyond that. So only 14,000, I think it's taking in that case, and because again, there's a space over there and it's taking and. But the probability over here, okay, what's happening actually? Okay, this is again a free version of LinkedIn. We're not using a Boolean operator here currently. We're just using commas or anything like that. That means it's getting confused. It's not actually trying to give what we're trying to search.
Okay.
So now instead of comma, if we go and we give or, then it searches, it understands. Because in backend, end of the day, it's a Boolean logic, the way LinkedIn or any browsing site has written.
Yeah.
In a backend, the
Shiva,
browsing site has not written instead of or, you can use comma. Yes, please.
sorry, I interrupted. I have
No
one
problem.
doubt. In this current keyword, which is there in the screen of yours, it's just one operator, right? What if the user does not put these brackets? Will it still work?
See, bracket, user is not putting bracket, user is not putting or. Those are only the commands. Those are only the operators. Operators, commands, user is not putting anywhere. User is only putting a keywords. With the help of operators, we are identifying a list of profiles which has those keywords, not operators. Now, if you see these profiles, user might not have mentioned or brackets because those are the operator, those are not the keywords. So there's a difference between operator and a keyword. Keyword is something, a words which you are trying to search in a user profile, wherein the operator is something, is a command used by search engines to narrow or broaden our searches. Like and, which is narrowing the search, user might not be mentioning and in their profile. Okay, maybe as a term, as a sentence, they would have used it, but it's actually not searching for that and. Let's say instead of or, we just say dancing and sleeping. Okay, we got these results. So now if I open this result, so dancing and sleeping, let me just close this highlighter also, multi-highlighter. Okay. Now, if you see here, search engine is searching for a list of results which has both the keyword dancing and sleeping. And that's where dancing and sleeping is getting highlighted. Now, once I open this result, there might be a word where she would have written and, but that and is not getting highlighted. The reason because and is actually operator here for a search engine, for a LinkedIn search engine, wherein keywords dancing and sleeping are basically a keywords. So that is where dancing and sleeping is getting highlighted here, dancing and sleeping. If you see dancing and sleeping, but and is nowhere getting highlighted. Let's see somewhere if the person has mentioned and on the top of the page. So there's a difference between, so here if you see A and D and is there, is it getting highlighted? No, because and is an operator here, and is not a keyword here. So I'll just take a pause. Any confusion on this? A difference between operator and keyword?
So,
I think we should
Shiva, I
take it.
guess her
No,
question
Shiva,
is,
that
yeah,
was
go
not
ahead.
the
Sorry.
question. I just asked simply like when we are using any operator single, like it's not used in combination with any other operator. Is it essential for us to keep it in the bracket, or we can like simply put it?
See, for bracket, the thumb rule is whenever you're using or, for now, on a basic training, say that for a basic training, keep in mind that, okay, whenever we use or, we need a bracket. Whenever we use or, we need a bracket. The thumb rule of bracket is whenever we use or, we need a bracket because that's where it becomes a set. That's where it becomes a nest. But when you're using and, it's not necessary. In advanced trainings, I'll tell you, even when you're using and, why the bracket must be necessary. When we go for little advanced, that is a mid-advanced, I would say. But for now, on a basic part, dancing and sleeping, bracket is not required because it is searching for both the keyword. And dancing or sleeping, thumb rule, whenever we use or, this bracket is required. So maybe in this limited list of results, just on a dancing or sleeping, in this small keyword, in this small string, it might show a similar result. But when we go to the expanded strings where we are going with a lengthy strings, lengthy booleans, that's where you'll realize the importance of the or when we use with the combination of bracket. Now let's say dancing or sleeping. Java and SQL. So here what we have done, Java and SQL and dancing or sleeping. Only for or we have used the bracket. We have not used the bracket for Java and SQL. Okay, now you see the difference in this. We got 12,000 result. Now this result can be further narrowed down. But the problem here is what will happen if you give Java and SQL in the bracket. This is on a basic version, basic searches. There might not be major differences because any which way, as a logic, what it is searching for Java and SQL. That I give with bracket or without bracket doesn't make sense. And dancing or sleeping. Okay, I'm using or, that's where I'm just using a bracket over here. But when I'm using and for this search, I'm not really seeing that it does make a lot of difference. And the numbers also will be same 12,000. So same 12,000. But when we go on a little advanced searches, I'll show you the various use cases of, okay, fine. Bracket is also required for when we use and, because when we build nested searches, those are basically a Boolean in Boolean. So this is the basic Boolean operator where we're using and, or, and bracket and a double quote and not. These are just the basic Boolean operator. But think about creating a Boolean in Boolean. So when I say Boolean in Boolean, that is little advanced, but just to give an example, so now if you see, okay. Now if you see here, this is something starting with 3 brackets, then in between getting closed with 2 brackets, then again opening with 1 bracket, then getting closed with again 2 bracket, again finally getting closed with 1 bracket. So we'll reach there, not really now, but yes, for now, like if you see here also, SDET or software or auto or automation and test and testing. Though we have used and, but we have used the bracket. So this is basically a nested searches. This is basically a Boolean and Boolean searches. We'll reach there, but to reach there, we need to have this basic understanding correct. So yeah, I'll just take a pause. Any
Yeah,
doubts?
but
Any
for,
confusion?
Yeah.
no, for now I have understood. With or use the brackets
Okay.
and
Whenever
with
you use
and
or
also.
with and, no. For now, no. It's only nested, not now. Otherwise, you'll get confused. So it's not really required. Both are giving me the same number. Then why should I waste the space?
Yeah. Hi,
Yeah,
Shiva. Srishti this side. I have a question. So these operators are case sensitive. Like if we are using small letter and so the result it's different.
great. Great question. Absolutely. Operators are case sensitive. Keywords are never a case sensitive. So those are again a
Okay.
thumb rules which we are going to cover. Operators are case sensitive. There are few operators which has to be written in caps. There are few operator which has to be written in small letters.
Okay.
So there are two different types of operator. We'll go slowly. In our next session, we'll cover that. Um,
Sure.
but yes, as you mentioned,
Yeah.
these and or not are basically a case sensitive. So let's
Okay.
say rules. What does the operator or do? It basically helps us in expanding the search result with an option of getting a list of search result with options. For example, Java or Python. In this,
So Shiva, you mean to say that by default for or what do you call the rule, right? So you have to enter or you have to add the bracket, right?
absolutely.
Okay, thanks.
Wherever
Can we
on Google,
use
on Google,
just
on LinkedIn, on LinkedIn, on Naukri or Monster, whichever the search engine. If you're using or, bracket has to be there.
just a quick one? Or also in the string, can we use multiple times, like say 3-4 times, or
We
there's some
can,
limitation on that?
we can. We'll go there slowly, but let's focus on the concept of what and is doing, what or is doing. In our next sessions, we'll start advancing to the bigger strings. But yes, absolutely yes, you
Sure.
can increase the number of ors, no problem. Okay,
Sure.
now
Thank you.
here. Or thumb rule, I would say. Why would uh, thumb rule one? Okay, thumb rule one. Keywords are basically a. Why is it not happening? I don't know. That's a thumb rule one. Then for or, thumb rule two. So, and this case remains very obvious in whichever the case, in basic, in advanced, in whichever the case. The thumb rule, whenever we are using or, we should use bracket. So the search engine understands. Proper set or nest. So whenever we use or, we'll have to use bracket. So search engine understand it as a proper set or a nest. Now, just in case if I'm not using bracket, that means I'm not really nesting it. That means I'm not really. So let's say something like uh, how do I tell you? Mm, 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 mm. Okay, let's say if you want to search in a house, okay. Okay, now you have an area, you have a colony where you have a 10 different houses, and you want to search in a specific house, in a specific person's house. Let's say you want to search in Shiv Kumar Gurram's house. Okay. What you want to search in Shiv's house is basically either fridge or a laptop. Okay. Now when we're doing, okay, I'll go SHIV Shiv and I want to search for fridge or laptop. If I don't use bracket here, okay, that means what you're trying to do is basically trying to search fridge or laptop. Okay. But if I'm not really nesting it, that means human is getting confused. What exactly I should be searching for? So as a human, I might understand, but as an engine, as a search engine will really get confused. What exactly trying to say? Because this is not nested properly. Okay, shift and fridge or laptop. What exactly? Okay, do I search for shift and fridge, or do I search for only laptop? That can also happen. Yeah. Do I
Yep, yep.
search for shift
Correct,
and
correct.
fridge,
Yeah,
or
right.
shall I search only for a laptop? So that's where the false positive result starts coming. But when I just give a bracket, okay, then it's a nest. Then it's a proper command. Okay, I need to search for a fridge or laptop in a Shiv's house. Fine. Now let's say, okay, now let's say Shiv or or Sushil, my neighbor. Okay. So if I give like this, Shiv or Sushil and fridge or laptop. So what does it understand? So what do I search? Shall I search for Sushil and fridge? Or shall I search only for Shiv? Or shall I search only for laptop? Or shall I search fridge or laptop and Sushil? Or shall I search Shiv and Sushil and fridge? So getting confused? So that's
Yep,
where
yep, sure. Yeah.
we need a bracket. Now the command is clear. Okay, go and search for fridge or laptop either in Sushil's house or in Shiv's house. Okay, so that's where thumb rule, whenever we use or thumb rule is we should be using it with the bracket. So that is about OR. And what does OR do? It basically helps us in expanding the search result with an option of getting a list of search results with options. For example, Java or Python. In this search, we will see a list of results which have either Java or Python. Thumb rule 2, whenever we use OR, we'll have to use bracket. So the search engine understand it as a proper set or a nest. So I'll just take a pause. Any doubts on and or?
No.
Helps us nesting or creating a set. Helps us nesting or bucketing. Bucketing or creating a set for the optional keywords. What does the operator bracket do? It basically helps us in nesting or bucketing or creating a set for the optional keyword so that we can search for either one of the keywords. So that one or the other keyword. For example, okay. So that about for the bracket. So now we know, okay, fine, and is doing this, or is doing that. And whenever we use or, thumb rule is we should be using bracket. And what bracket is doing, it basically helps us in nesting or bucketing or creating a set for the optional keywords so that the search engine can show us the list of results with either of the keyword. Okay. For example, Java or Python or C++ or Golang or Ruby. But what we have done is here we have used the bracket. Now some must be thinking, okay, I use double quotes for C++, I use quotes for Go, but why not for Java? Why not for Python? Why not for Golang? Why not for Ruby? We'll come there slowly. So first thumb rule, why do we use, what does an operator double quotes do? Let's understand that first. So I'll just take a pause. Any doubts on what does operator bracket is doing here? Yes, no, we are good.
Yeah, sure. I'm good.
Great. So as I mentioned, especially for fresher, please do not hesitate. Even if you want to ask in Hindi or Telugu, I'm familiar with 4 languages, Hindi, Telugu, English, and Marathi. You can ask me in 4 languages. I can help you.
What is actually bucketing, Shiv?
Bucketing. Bucketing means creating. This is nothing but creating a set, bucketizing. So creating a nest or creating a set. So nothing but, what do I say? Let's say if I give you 10 balls and I'll ask you to put all the 10 balls in one bucket. What will you do? You'll go and put it in an orange bucket. So that's one bucket. So basically it's like that. So let's say if this bracket, this is one of the bucket, orange bucket. And so here, this is one bucket and this is second bucket. We call it is bucket, we call it is set, we call it is nest, whatever. So this is one set and this is one
Ranga,
set. Yeah.
I can understand the bracket rule, but I don't know how this example going to work. Will you explain it later?
No. Please tell me.
No, the bracket that you just mentioned, the above example is a bracket Java or Python or C++ in a code. Like, I don't know how all these operators will work and what results you're going to
So
get.
this will give us a list of results which has either of the keyword, either Java or Python or C++ or Go, Golang or Ruby or Go.
Oh, either one it will show?
Anyone.
Oh,
So the
okay.
format of is this double quote. In a word, it doesn't come properly. We have to correct it here. So someone was asking, can we use multiple ORs? Yes, we can use multiple ORs. Up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 operator and 6 keywords. Okay, so 2 crore 84 lakhs. So these are the list of results which has minimum 1 and maximum 5 also. That means these are the list of results which has either Java or Python or C++ or Golang or Ruby or Go. There is a
Okay.
possibility. There's a possibility which has Java, Python, C++, Golang. So out of these 6 keywords, there's a possibility all 6 keywords are existing in resume. There's a possibility all 5 keywords are existing in the resume. There's a possibility 4 keywords are existing. There's a possibility 3 keywords are existing. There's a possibility 2 keywords are existing. But there is no possibility that none of the keywords from this 6 keyword is existing and we are getting the result.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, so let's say 100 page. And then the last result. So C++ is here existing. There is a possibility where in these search results, we could see one or more than one keyword up to 6 keywords, whatever we have mentioned, a list of results. But there is no possibility that we got a list of results that neither one of the keyword is existing. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Great. Yeah, someone has some question?
Yeah, Shiv, let's suppose if there is any space in between, so how that will be counted as in the search?
For now, for the basic thing, space is nothing. It's just Java or Python or C++ or Golang.
Okay. Let's suppose if I am writing any keyword before Java and there is a space and then the entire string that we have written, how will the search will look like in that case?
You're saying something like this, Java space Python or all this?
No, after Java, you can put or. And before Java, where we have the brackets, just before that, you can add any of the key and after that space. Yeah.
SQL and all, right? Okay. So as I mentioned, for a basic, okay, on a basic concept to understand how is this working. So basically this will give us a false positive result. But if I have to go as per the rule, then I should add and. There's a possibility that it will also give us a list of result with SQL and I did not use and it started giving us Java or Python, SQL and Java or Python or C++ or Golang or Ruby or Go. It will definitely give because LinkedIn has that much of use data. But when we go to the advanced searches, does it really making a sense where I'm removing and putting space? We'll come to this question when we are in an advanced session of when we are uncovering the LinkedIn search operator. But for now, yes, and we definitely need. If I'm keeping SQL and Java, if I need SQL and Java or Python, then definitely this and is required. So that concept you get it clear. Now, if you remove this space, okay, on free version it will work. But when you go to LinkedIn Recruiter, it will not work. Because Recruiter is coming up with a more powers, more powerful power to the searches. So let's say I just go here. $9 million. Okay, here space. Now let's say I'll just go.
Shiva, I have a question here. Next to the SQL, you have not entered and. Will that be okay if I enter without and?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not okay. Okay, now we got 620K results. And we use as per the rule now. 620K. Okay. So this was not the experience. Maybe this is a recent past, but as a rule, we should be using and. But when we remove this and, so this is again a shorter string. But when we go for some of the longer strings, let's try for some of the longer strings and see in case if you're removing and, is it really working? So let's say okay, 510K. And let's remove this and. Same 510K. I think now this space is taking as and, but that's not the rule for a LinkedIn. Similarly, if you search on Monster or anything, I don't think this long search Monster or Naukri would allow. Though it is giving us a list of results, but we'll keep checking this if this is allowing us to go as long as possible. But as a rule, removing removing and mentioning space is not the rule. It would not understand. Maybe for now, for some good reason, it is working. But when we go on some of the little advanced sessions, then you would realize that, especially for portals, I'm not saying a open web search. We have not yet started on a Google search. We have done only on a portals. We have done only on a LinkedIn. And whatever the operators are working on LinkedIn, if you're able to get the right results, right operators on LinkedIn, you should be able to get the right operator and right results on best of the other portals also. But as I mentioned earlier, when we used to remove and put only space, it used to say that your search is not formatted correctly. Let's say in that case, $11 million, Java or Python. That's a good question. 510K. So there's a huge difference now when we are removing a bracket because that's not a rule. Python or Java. We got 11 million. Though we are getting a result, but we don't know whether these are a true results or these are a combination of lot of false positive result. Because if you see 11 million, and when we just put one small bracket and nest it properly, that's a use case with or. Similarly with and, maybe for today some good reason it is working. But otherwise, as a rule, there has to be a space. Otherwise, there is no meaning to the operator and. So from 11 million, all of a sudden it has dropped to 510K. because we have used the bracket over here. So similarly, in the free version of LinkedIn also, there has to be a and unless we are not trying to overcome that search limit, that is something will come in our advanced session when we are dive deeping on the LinkedIn. But yes, to keep your Boolean logic concept clearly on a usage of a LinkedIn or any other job portal, definitely that space, instead of space, that and is required. Yeah. Does that answer your question? Who was that? Anjali, was that you?
Yeah, I asked that, Shiv. question.
Ritika, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Got it. Sure. Okay, so that's where we are using this. So that's what the option and or bracket and this semicolon. Okay, now what does an operator double quotes do? It basically gives us. So there are two use cases of double quotes. Whenever we are searching for an exact phrase, whenever we are searching for an exact phrase, we should be using double quotes. For example, software engineer or developer or programmer. Now, as we use or here, thumb rule of or, we should always use a bracket. Where is it? Right, I just take this. Sorry, I'll close the footer. All filters. I'll just come here in the title. As I mentioned, these double quotes are not formatted correctly in the Word document. So let me just correct it. These are little tilted one. Just a second, D. Now we see that, okay, every result, what we see, we have a either software engineer or software developer or software programmer. One result we are seeing here, backend developer, but when we open the profile, so what we are seeing here is a headline. We're not seeing here is a title of a job. So there's a difference between headline and a title of a job. whatever they have written here is a headline, which is appear on a list of search results. But when we open the profile, here is a title of a job as a software engineer. So don't get confused saying that, okay, I'm giving here in the title software engineer or software developer or software programmer, but also I'm getting something like backend developer, which is not the right title for me. But once you open a profile, you'll be able to see. And these titles can be from their current or a past companies. Okay. Now let's say, now here we need software engineer as it is, or software developer as it is, or software programmer as it is. And that's where we are getting this search result. Now let's say if we remove this double quotes, what will happen? Though it will give a false result, but again, a lot of false positive results because it goes with the assumption. So there are two things. One is like going with the rule and going with the assumption, or not going with the assumption. So now we give this and search. Still we are getting the data. Okay, 2 lakh, 24 lakhs data, because these are all the list of results with the assumptions. These are not the list of results where it is actually going with the command. And these are all the search results which are actually might be there, might not be there. But let's see if we go on last page. Front-end developer, development engineer. Because there's a huge data available with the LinkedIn. So what it will do, it will also give us a list of results. Though there's a mistake in this, though these are not the right results, but still it will give the result because it has a lot of data and it is matching those particular keywords from that particular field. So that's the reason it's going and giving us a list of results with the assumption. But similarly, but when you go on advanced searches, that time if you even miss a one operator, then it will say your search is not formatted correctly. And that's the use case with the LinkedIn I'm seeing as of now. But if you go on a Monster, Naukri, it immediately starts breaking down. Or again, if it is showing the list of results, again, that means it actually showing only with the assumptions, but it's not actually following the Boolean logic. So if you want to follow the Boolean logic, if you want to our search engines to follow the Boolean logic and give us a list of results, then that's where we need to be good at really at Boolean. But wherein there might be a list of result coming in, though our Boolean logic is not correct, there might be a list of result coming in because those are the list of results which are coming up with the assumptions. Because end of the day, every portal want to sell their data also. So if they start restricting people not showing the list of result, then they won't be able to sell the data. So that's the reason like they have become smart. They're picking up the keywords and with the assumptions they started giving us. But when we're starting for, so these are very basic searches, software engineer or software developer or software programmer. But when you go for some of the niche skills like solution architect or any such kind of a skills, then that's where you'll understand, okay, why the Boolean is really needed and why it has to be correct. And in our sessions itself, once we go for some of the advanced sessions, then you would know why actually these operators has to be go with the thumbs up rules. So I'll just take a pause. Any doubts on what is operator, what is this double quote is doing? Let's say another example.
Yeah, Shiv, I am actually not much clear on the significance of this double quotes because, like, if I take this example of this designation which you just put, software engineer is an engineer, right? And we are not mentioning specifically whether we are looking like which level profile we are looking, or whether we are looking only for front end or back end or full stack. So, like, what
So that is
exactly?
very simple example. Now let's say, let's take Java developer. Software engineer in a combination of Java developer. So here we have a Java developer as it is. Okay, Java development, Java backend development. So again, as a synonyms. So let's open, but still once there is the profile. So Java developer, then Java. Let's open the profile. Kotlin. Let's open the profile. Let's open the, so here Java developer is there. I'm only opening a profile where I'm not seeing a Java developer. So any which is, it was there, it was here. So here we do not have it. Okay, sorry, here it is there. Okay, so now in this example, if you see, Java backend developer, but let's open the profile. So Java developer as it is. Sorry, Java developer as it is. So Java Spring Boot, but we are in Java web application. So Java developer as it is. So software engineer is very common. So that's where we got it. But now we gone little advanced and tried seeing, okay, Java developer only we need. Then we started searching, okay, Java Kotlin developer, but let's see here. Do we have a Java developer as it is? So Java Kotlin skilled Java developer as it is. And here also, let's say Java, Microsoft. So Java developer as it is. Now let's say some of the last pages. 97,000 results. Let's take last few results. So anyways, here Java developer is there, Java developer is here, and then Java developer is here, but let's see only this one result. Okay, so once I open Java developer is as it is. Any result, a last result of the last page also is reflecting with Java developer as it is. Now let's say we remove that double quotes. So instead of 97,000, the results will be shooting up to some millions. The reason because now it is searching for Java and developer. It could be anywhere in the page. Java could be somewhere, developer could be somewhere. Now we'll just remove these double quotes. Instead of 97, significantly it has increased to 10 million results. Why? Java is somewhere, developer is somewhere now. There could be a possibility where Java developer is there together like this. But if you open the profiles, let's say first page also, Java developer, Java, okay, let's open this profile. Software developer, Java, let's open this profile. Java, so Java stack. Okay, now in this Java is somewhere, developer is somewhere. Unless I don't need that particular phrase as it is, I'm not using double quote. But if I need a particular phrase as it is, so this is just the Java developer, one simple example. In recruitment, you might come across lot many use cases like this where you need that particular phrase like SAP ABAP developer or SAP ABAP consultant or consultant or SD consultant. So there might be a lot of use cases like that where you need that particular phrase as it is. So here you have a Java developer as it is, but we're in the other results on the first page itself where Java is somewhere and developer is somewhere. So here in this, if you see core interest Java is somewhere, Java is here, developer is here. So Java is here, developer is here. So Java development. Developer must be somewhere here and there. Developer here, Java software developer. But unless I need that particular phrase as it is, that's where we are using that double quotes. But just in case I need that Java also, developer also, either of the place, I'm okay with it, then I might not use that particular double quotes. So double quotes is basically only to search for a people who has that particular phrase as it is. Something like okay, again, free version of LinkedIn. It is going with some of the means assumptions. That's where we get open for new opportunities, open to new opportunities. So open to new opportunities, open to new opportunities. Open to new opportunities like that. So when we need that particular phrase as it is, that's where we are using this particular double quotes. And when you go on some of the advanced searches, there will be a lot of use cases where we would definitely need that particular double quotes.
Okay,
Okay.
so yeah, like if
Now let's say
just to
1600. Just give me a second.
yeah,
1600. Now let's say we remove this double quotes. It gone to 16,000. So open is somewhere, for is somewhere, new is somewhere, apostrophes is somewhere. They might not be open for new apostrophes. So 1600 is somewhere and 16,000 is somewhere. Yeah, please tell me. You had some question.
Yeah,
So
for
this is
example, like for example, if we are putting, if we want to search for UI UX developer, so if we are writing UI UX developer with double quotes, it will essentially give us developers. But if we are removing these quotes, does this mean that this phrase of ours would also fetch designer profiles as well, along with
designer,
developers?
product managers who are working with UI UX teams. So
Okay,
there would be
okay.
a product manager who is working with UI UX team.
Right.
We are searching
Okay,
for
yeah.
designer.
Yes, yes. Now I got. Then our search would be drastically different. Yeah, I got it now.
Exactly. That's reason that double quotes makes a difference. So that's a one use case of a double quote. Whenever we are using a phrase and we wanted our search results, that particular phrase as it is, that's where we are using a double quote. Use case number 2. Basically, double quote also helps us. So there are 3 use cases, sorry. Strong command. So double quote, see, and any which ways we are saying, okay, fine, we need these particular keywords. This, and okay. But double quotes, especially not on a LinkedIn, but on a Google. Okay. Double quotes also help us is giving a strong command or strong command, even for a single keyword. As a must to have. So when we go for some of the advanced searches, okay, and when we see that, okay, so in LinkedIn and which ways it is there because all the keywords are appearing, but wherein in some of the portals you might come across where the keywords are started dropping, like we give Java or Python or C++, and the keyword, let's say Java and Python and C++ and Golang and Ruby we gave. And after third or fourth page, that particular keywords are dropping. But we need at least one that keyword which should be must mandatorily existing, even in the last result of the last page. Though it could be one particular keyword, but if you give them in double quotes, that is a strong command for the search engine. You can exclude any keyword, but this is a keyword which you should not be excluding. This will cover again when we go on a Google searches. In this search, I might not be able to show you the right example on a LinkedIn, but in Naukri Monster, you'll be able to see that I'm not using it. But when we go for a Google search, I'll show you that use case of double quotes in that session. But for now, just keep in mind that basically double quotes, not just for the phrases, but also even for a single word, it helps us to give a strong command to the search engines as a must to have keyword. Yeah, I'll just take a pause. Any doubts on this? And use case 3. Basically, double quotes are also used.
So, Shiv, can I have an example? Just write it down. You need not to show in the portal. Just write it down for the use case too.
What do you want me to write?
The example.
No, let the Google search start for that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. In this, I might not be able to give you the appropriate example. In Google search, I might be able to give you. Let
Okay.
that session start. I'll give you that. We'll come back on this line again. Okay. Now use case 3, basically double quotes also helps us while we give a keywords which have characters. For example, C++, which has special character. Any keyword which has special character, where either a starting is special character or the ending is special character. So what happens when we use this special character without double quotes? Sometimes again search engines get confused because they won't really understand. Now, if you see here, okay, now let's say so as this is shorter string, it might give us a list of result without confusing. But when it goes on really longer list of result, it starts getting confusing because if you see here now, Java, C++. So now understand the URL pattern here. Okay, this is getting expanded. So Java, what are the spaces here? That has become %20. Okay, or has remained as it is as an operator. Then again, what are the space has become %20. Okay, then C remain as it is. That plus plus has become %2b. So that plus plus has become %2b. So it has encrypted. That plus plus got encrypted in the algorithmic language. So C remained as it is, Java remained as it is, or remain as it is as an operator, but that space has become %20, where Java, whatever the space has become %20 or remain as it is, then again space %20, C remains as it is, but wherein this plus plus has become %2b, then again %2b. But when we give the same thing in double quotes, so %2b, let me run a new search once. So again, it has become %2b. Okay. Any other keywords which has a special keyword? Sorry, special characters.
C#.
C#.
.NET.
C#. Okay. So C %2b, but if you see here again, still these double quotes are reflecting here. These double quotes. These double quotes are reflecting here. For C#, we did not give any double quotes. Then again, that %2b, that is space. So and is also %2b. So wait a second. So %2b. Okay, that is plus. Then double quotes. Then again space, that is %20. and remained as it is. Then space has become %20. And then C# has become %23. There is no double quote. Let's see now double quote you give. So that has some background algorithmic meaning to it, and that's where it is getting encrypted. But when we give in a double quotes, if you see these double quotes are remaining as it is. Though it has got encrypted, that sharp has become %23 And that plus plus has become percentage to be, but when we give in a double quotes, then it's a direct indication that search for this particular, that's where it is getting highlighted like this. So again, this is a free version of it, but when you upgrade to the paid versions, when you go to the LinkedIn recruiter or when you go to that particular things, then you might see the behavior of the changes of the results when you use such a keywords, especially again on a Google also, when you use such kind of a keywords with double quotes, the keywords which are with the special characters. In Google also, I can give you a great example, but not today. That's where we'll be able to cover more real-time example, how these percentages or plus or sharp, this actually what we say special characters are changing when it is sitting on the URL bar. And that's where we'll be able to realize the importance of the double quotes and how exactly it is playing. So for now, I would say double quote. Again, the third use case of double quote is basically whenever we have a keyword which has a special character, like plus, minus, underscore. There might be some of the keywords which has a special character, something like okay, so C#, C++, Objective -C, 1C, 2D, 4D. ASP.NET, ASP.1, Cap and Proto, so -U, F#, F star. So HTML plus ECR. So there are certain keywords which has a double quotes. So there is a third thumb rule of using these double quotes whenever we are using a keywords which has a special character is where we are using a double quotes. So I'll just take a pause. Any doubts on the use cases of double quotes? When do we use double quote? First case, when we want to search for that particular phrase as it is. Second case, even for a single word, we can use it. When we want to make it as a must to have, that example I'll show you on Google. And then the third use case, double quotes also helps us in giving us a list of keywords which has a special character. For example, C# or C++ or C#. Okay, so these two examples, when we search on Google, we'll have better clarity what double quote role is playing over here. That will cover in our next session. So I'll just take a pause. Any doubts, any confusion on and, or, not, double quotes, and a bracket? Not is a bigger session. How much ever we covered today, when we use not is actually bigger session. We'll cover in our next session. And then we'll go to the Google, how these operators are actually working on a Google. Now we have seen how these operators are actually working on LinkedIn, and similarly, this operator will work on all the job portals. Naukri, Dice, Career Builder, Monster, which are the job portal you would be using. And then in next session, we'll see not. How do we use not on a LinkedIn, which is little lengthier session, which is little complex to understand. That season we'll keep a separate session for not, and then we'll go for a same operators. How do we search with the same operators on a Google? So I'll just take a pause. Any doubts, any confusion? You're good?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Great.
Shiv Kumar, this was quite
Yes, sir.
enlightening. Thank you so much.
Great. So yeah, that's it for today. Let's connect tomorrow. I'm kind of a bit doubtful because I have some plans, but just in case it doesn't happen tomorrow, I'll try to see if we can cover sometime during the weekday one, maybe Wednesday or Thursday.
Sure.
I'll keep posted in the
It would
groups.
be very difficult to attend in weekdays.
Then let's see, tomorrow itself may not be evening 8 o'clock, but before that we'll try to cover.
Surely,
At
surely.
least during
Weekends are always fine for me.
maybe around evening 4 o'clock or something like that.
Yeah, that
Yes,
sounds
that will
good.
be very good.
All right. All right, then. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Great.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks,
Thank
sir.
you so
Thank you.
much, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Happy
Thank
Saturday
you.
night, all of you.
Thank you. Bye.
Um,